Hi. So it's another beautiful day, though it's cold out, so I'm indoors. Today I want to talk about a question somebody asked me. And the question was, how can I get along without an identity? And basically, what's going on is you're attached to your identity. Okay? And that means you're you really believe that you are you. Okay? To get unattached from your identity, you have to realize that it's not you. Okay? I know it's drummed into our heads from the beginning. Your name is such and such. You're this way or that way or whatever way people think you are. Okay? But that is not necessarily who you really are. Okay? I'm not saying forget your name or anything. I mean, I've got a name. Okay? And at past. Okay? And that's not going to forget your past, otherwise you'd be doomed to repeat it. So, what we're going to try and do is become unattached to our past. And that entails recognition of what is. Just like not getting rid of your car or your house, just not being attached to it. Okay? What does attachment mean? Well, attachment is like clinging. Okay? The reason that we have an ego, the reason that we have attachment, is because when we were primitives, okay, it was a survival trait. Okay? And that is partly because of the tribe, okay, which you had to kind of be attached to in order to survive. And part of it was just to make sure you thought well of yourself. And that's just pretty much it, okay? So that you could go on to do what you had to do. That's what was the original purpose, to give you good thoughts about yourself. You're a strong hunter. You can do this. That kind of thing, okay? Well, we're not hunters anymore. Well, some of us are, but that's not our main thing in life, okay? So, we need to become unattached from these things. And one of these things is your identity, okay? Your present identity, okay? Because that's what we're really talking about here. You are not a person. You have been a person, okay? And to some small extent, you will be a person till you die, or till your life form dies. But you don't have to be attached to being a person. If you stay attached to being a person, then you're going to stay attached to your positions, your titles, okay, which are only going to drag you down. Haven't you ever felt like, oh wow, I did this great thing, now what? And then the unhappiness sets in because you're attached to you. Okay? Why do people keep wanting more money when they've already got plenty of money? Because they're attached to being a rich person. Okay? They're attached. The more money they have, the more status, the more power. Okay? All that is an attachment. Okay? To that stuff. Okay? But you're not that stuff. That is not really part of you. Okay? Yes, when we were primitive, it was part of us because we needed it. Okay? But we don't need it anymore. And if we hang on to that attachment to our fake identity, okay, our ego, then we're going to have unhappiness. Even though these people make billions of dollars, they're not happy. There's a hole inside them that they can't fill with, no matter how much power, no matter how much money. And that hole can only be filled by God. Okay? Now, you may not believe in God. I don't even know what God is. Okay? But I felt him. And I don't even know why I'm calling it a him. Okay? I felt the source of all life in this universe, of all intelligence in this universe. Okay, so I know it exists. So, what's so great about your identity? What's so fantastic about it that you can't let it go? Okay? Maybe you had a happy childhood. Maybe you had a happy teenage years. Maybe you had a happy 20s or 30s. Okay? And I don't need to get rid of my identity because my identity is fine. It's not hurting me or doing anything wrong to me. But it's trapping you. No matter how happy you've been in the past, that doesn't guarantee you're going to be happy now or in the future. I know it's hard to understand why this is important. We all have that hole, okay? And no matter how many cars or women you try to, possess, it's not going to fill the hole, okay? Now, poor people are happy. Why are they happy? Because they have a tight connection. And every time you have a connection with someone, that's God, okay? Coming through that connection. But, rich people don't have that connection because they have so many distractions. They're out on their jet skis or out on their boats or their cars. And the parents don't see the kids hardly at all. They've got nannies and teachers and so on and so forth. And they go to the best schools. So there's no tight connection there. And that's why the unhappiness happens. So, in order to get a tight connection with God, which I use as a placeholder because I don't know anything about whether or not there's actually a God, I do know that there's a source, okay? Because I felt it. And in order to feel it yourself, okay, you have to let go of the things you're clinging to. And maybe people would say, no, I'm not clinging to anything. What are you talking about? Well, you are clinging. You just don't know you're clinging. Okay? And this is another thing that is from our primitive days. Okay? We had to cling to each other. Okay? We had to cling to the few possessions we had as we nomaded our way across the planet. Okay? But we don't have to do that anymore. So, try to remember that you are a soul. Yes, you're also a person. Obviously, you're in a body. That makes you a person, okay? But that doesn't mean you have to have an attachment to that body. That doesn't mean you have to have an attachment to your mind, okay? And that means really letting go, okay? Letting go of all these things, okay, including your identity, because your identity is not making you happy, okay? We've all had those moments where we wished we were other people, an actor in Hollywood, a star, okay? But you know what? They're not happy either, okay? Because they've got their identity too, and it's more firmly established because there's thousands of people worshiping them, okay? So, let go of it. It's not helping you. It's not doing anything for you. It's doing all of your thinking for you. That's what it's doing. Okay? And it's sending you the emotions you don't want. You don't want to feel that. You don't want to think that. And most people think that there's no choice. They have to think it. They have to feel it. But there is a choice. And that choice is to let go. Just let it all go. Okay? And be who you really are. And happiness will flow out of you like water. And it'll affect everybody around you. If you stick to your fake identity, okay, and I know many people think, oh, my identity's not fake, okay, then people will feel your pain, okay? It's called empathy. And that pain will spread to other people. Anyway, I guess that's enough about that particular question. If you have any questions about anything I'm saying here, please let me know. Okay, and in the comments, or you can send me an email, okay? And then I'll make a video about your questions so that it can be answered. And I'll also talk to you in whatever form it is. Well, I love you all because you're me, and I'm you. There's no difference between us, whether you're black, white, fat, thin, tall, short. You have the spark of a soul, okay? And that is what makes you, you. Not where you were born, not where you went to school, not whose child you were. None of that stuff really matters. I know it's hard that I'm saying things don't matter because, okay, maybe they do matter to you, in which case you're still trapped, okay? But what really matters, what everyone is seeking out there, is happiness, okay? And that happiness is made up of having the right job, having the right place, having the right people around you, your wife, your kids, whatever it is. That's where that happiness comes out for humans, okay? But there's a greater happiness that's available to you. And all you have to do to embrace that greater happiness is simply to let go. Imagine that you're in the ocean and you're barely staying afloat, and you look down and you see all this stuff chained to your ankle. And there's a pin there that you can pull. And this stuff's going to drag you down. It's just going to do it. There's nothing you can do except to let go. You got to pull the pin. And then you'll feel the freedom. You'll rise buoyantly up. Your consciousness will raise. And you will be happy like you have never been happy in your entire life. Well, I guess that's enough. Take care, everybody, and have a great life.